right. Hi everyone, Malo. I have a very special video tonight for everyone. We're going to the motherland. I've got a special guest that I want everyone to meet that you guys are going to be so inspired by. This person is going to share their journey and their story on how they pursued their IT journey. And I hope that and hope, just like Helila, and hope to inspire our beautiful audience and provide some um, valuable insights for technology and Tokelau specifically. So I would like to introduce to you Mana.
Malo, Malo ni. Uh,
Nice to meet you. Now, can you do a bit of introduction, please? Just introduce yourself and a bit of your background, and also tell us what you're currently doing right now.
okay. My name is Mana. I'm 30 years of age. I was born in a small and sleepy fishing village called Atafu Tokelau. And I have strong family connections to Nugunonu and Hogaoho. My parents are Rosta and Tulano, and I'm the eldest of five siblings. At the moment, I'm studying towards my master's, taking a break, and currently transitioning back into the workforce.
Nice, nice. So, what actually, in terms of early influences in your life, what actually inspired you to pursue, to study, and and pursue a career in technology? Did you have any role models when you grew up that inspired you to get into IT?
I have a role model when I was growing up, and that was my uncle. And I remember coming home after school one day, and there was a motherboard on the table. I was so curious to what this device is. How what's this? What is this? And I found out it's a it's for general purpose computer. Um,
Oh,
and it was to expand, and it holds things like CPU, RAM, and
right.
it's another connector for just things that was about computers. It just
Yeah.
really captured me when I was younger. And then another thing I remember was playing a game on my uncle's computer, and it was Age of Empires. And I was so interested how these characters were moving, at the touch of a button, how these sounds played off, how it, and I think it was not as the strategy side of it, but it was just the enjoyment of it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think another inspiration was when I was young. I watched a movie called The Matrix, and I was really fascinated at the story of Matrix, and the story of the main protagonist. He's a guy that wakes up thinking he's in the real world, but in actual reality he's stuck in some sort of like programming.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think it started from that, and I was really fascinated um with just the childhood experiences. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. I think we all like the Matrix. So in terms of the path that you took in education, what led you to choose a specific field that you chose to study in IT? Were there any key experiences or were there any courses during your studies that influenced you for your career path?
um At my last year of college, I was probably like every other Kiwi student, their last year of college, not, really unsure what they want to do, when they'll do what but it was sort of the passion and the drive. And going throughout, going around the community, finding different areas, what I was really interested. And one of the things that got me into technology was I applied for a scholarship with the Mana communities grants to study towards my Bachelor of Information Technology at Fakafetai Polytech. And that,
Nice.
as I mentioned, that 3 years, you know, doing that course was it really inspired me and sort of it was mainly the practical side of things and having a different taste of feel of what this area involves and what that area and technology involves, and
Yeah.
it got me really interested in some of the passion and the drive that I have now at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, talking about your career path, right? You've had some work experience putting what you studied into practice. Can you talk about the kind of work that you were doing, where you started to utilize those IT skills?
I've had 6 months of work experience with logical IT,
Mhm.
uh, creating software application that was used as a end product for business. This was for a laundromat business located in the hut. Um,
Mm.
Fortunately, they still use this web-based software application in their business, and it's really pleasing to know that something you created is still being used. And that's sort of the rewarding side of technology
Yeah.
and create a better society.
Mm, mm. Yeah, you should be proud of that. It's awesome. That's awesome. Um, let's talk about challenges and motivations. Can you share some of the biggest challenges that you faced from studying IT and putting it into practice, and how did you overcome them?
Um, one of the main challenges was when I went into the IT industry. I found, especially my studying IT, I found that it was quite dominated by Pākehā and Asian, and there weren't many Pacific Islanders, especially Tokelauans,
Hmm.
in the technology sector. Um, and that was quite a bit discouraging at first.
Yeah.
But then when you work around it and the way you overcome that is, you learn to work together with, different people, and
Yeah.
you learn from them, you gain experience from working with them.
Yeah.
You share your ideas and your knowledge, and that benefits everyone.
Hmm.
How you overcome these things. Another another challenge that you might face, because we as Pacific Islanders are quite family centered, ni
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
our lives revolve around our kāinga ni, our family, and we learn to build. We sort of have to sit and think, and sort of think, maybe how do I balance this ni lifestyle, with technology, and
Yeah.
because e he hoi ngohi ni
Mm.
e lava nā me lave ai ni
Yeah.
hoi nā hoka lave ni nā tahi mea mana.
Yeah.
But from that experience, you learn and you
Hmm.
bring resilience to that, and that's a really valuable skill in IT. And it's something that you'll utilize later on in
Oh,
your
100. Yeah, I really, really believe in that. So that's so cool that you brought that up. You've gained a lot of experience working in Samoa and in the Tokelau office. What projects are you most proud of, and what skills did you develop through these types of experiences? I'm
uh,
sure you've got a lot of projects that you worked on.
I was employed by the government of Tokelau, and I worked as my job title was IT and data officer. And I had worked for the Department of Education for more than 8 years. And I believe I had contributed quite significantly to like its um to the projects and to everything that was involved.
Yeah,
And one of the most things I'm really proud of is implementing Tokelau's digital strategy,
yeah,
down the digital divide
yeah,
here in Tokelau,
mm,
giving more access to students, for
yeah,
students to digital devices,
yeah,
making sure that they're well connected, and that they have the resources at their disposal to use for education.
yeah.
Another thing I'm really proud of was the implementation of the Edge School database management system. And this system better aligns ourselves, Tokelau, with New Zealand realm countries,
Yeah.
like Niue and Cook Islands. And it ensures that the governments align their policies and the decisions around data, around
Yeah.
real reporting data, and how they can improve the outcomes for students, our students here in Tokelau.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
also making reporting to overseas organizations such as UNESCO,
Yeah.
Institute of Statistics, New Zealand MFAT, New Zealand government, Tokelau government, making sure that they're well informed of the changes in education. And that's something I'm really proud of. Um, and ensuring another thing is ensuring better connectivity for schools. Um, that there's equity online learning and online learning for all students. From ECE to tertiary. Um, and our children aren't limited because they live in the middle of the island in the Pacific, middle of nowhere,
Mm.
and they're quite vulnerable without access to these internet services. Um, and another thing would be the access to online learning. A lot of
Mm.
resources nowadays in this day and age, we a lot of a vast majority of our resources are online based. That's from websites for reading, writing,
Yeah.
the it's quite broad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah. Nice. You've done a lot. You've done a lot. You should be all proud of them. That's fascinating stuff that you've done. In that span. In those 8 years. Um, so in terms of then, when we look into the future, right? Visions for the future. Do you have like aspirations for technology and Tokelau? What are your do you have hopes and dreams in terms of IT?
We still live in the same space, as our ancestors did, where I'm sitting. The
Yeah,
sun still rises the same place. So we still look at the same kind of pehe, haiva, na haatele, na taunga muna, for sunrise and sunset. What the symbolic meanings are for these places and these uh these changes in the weather and now in the wind, in the moons, and
mm,
things have changed as far as our clothing. Some of us speak a different language. Most of us speak more than one language. Most of us look different, but the space is still the same. Ni?
mm,
And it's the space that has tapu tapu.
yeah,
And so the more DNA that we have, our ancestral memory that we have, will be reawakened for the next generation to build on. Like these are the hopes and dreams that we have for our children in Tokelau. Should
yeah.
they decide to go down that path.
Wow, wow, that's so beautiful. That is so bang on, 100% right. I love that. I love that. Um, that's something that I think we all have dreams about in terms of technology in Tokelau. It's really important to retain and remember these values that we have, and our connection to our ancestors. So I love that. So in terms of you know advice for young people, what would what advice would you give to young people who might be interested in pursuing or entering a pathway in IT? What kind of advice would you give them?
E hakili e koe tō manuia, find your passion. You know, technology is quite broad. It's not just about being a nerd, and sitting in front of a computer all day and typing, all these complicated programming solutions.
No.
You know, don't need to know all coding.
Hmm.
Um, so the spectrum is quite broad.
Yeah,
So
100%.
ask around, experience things.
Yeah,
Attend different, there's a lot of functions that happen around Wellington and New Zealand,
mm,
uh, introducing you to technology. So I would encourage you, to all the young people who might be interested in entering a pathway in IT, go ahead. So the the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, yeah. I agree because I'm like right now, my job is a practice. I don't do any coding at this stage at the moment, but I am starting to go back into my coding. So it's like, yeah, you can be, you can use your personal, your what do you call it, soft skills. Your soft skills. It's a lot of non-technical side of stuff that is involved in IT, believe it or not. So that's a really good point. Um, in terms of technology's role in the community development, how do you see technology playing a role in the development of, a small island community like Tokelau?
Well, you can see it in a positive light, nee?
Yeah.
And the potential for technology is limitless, nee? But the challenge is to remain vigilant and alert to the different changes happening in technology in the world. Um, for example, Starlink, when it was introduced the year before last year, no one knew about it in Tokelau. So that was a real, there was sort of a revolution that happened
Yeah.
because of technology.
Yeah.
And like I said, remain vigilant and alert to the different changes that are happening. And
Mm,
Tokelauans can harness this technology. It's not limited to a certain group of people or a certain group of ethnicity or
mm.
nation, or
Bounds.
country bounds. It's
Yeah.
boundless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's awesome.
so I think it's used, I would say, the majority of family, both private and business, and here in Tokelau at the moment.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
that's Starling is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many changes that are about to happen in technology, and
Yeah.
you want to be in the forefront of that and to see the development and changes happening
Mm,
um
yeah.
later on, because there are a lot of events that will happen within the next 5 to 10 years involving technology that you will want to explore.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's so true. And I would say that you're a big driver for Starlink. Would you say you're the Elon Musk of Tokelau? Is it fair to say that? It feels like you are.
Elon Musk with his wheelbarrow or walking around in sandals.
It's your rocket, eh? Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you can claim that tag, Elon, because Elon.
I follow him on X, but I'm not. No, yeah, I'm quite a admirer of the.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah, that's awesome. We need an Elon here. Um, so I really agree with everything that you just said there in terms of development of Tokelau. So I'm so happy to that you think, yeah, that's the same alignment to what I think. In terms of your next steps, right? Going back to you, what are your immediate goals in your IT career? Um, exactly, and how do you plan to achieve them?
Well, my goal is to complete my master's, which I hope will be complete around next year. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
nice.
and also work on my software development skills. Need to help boost my career.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
be
yeah.
interested in that side of IT, and I think that's a career path that I've chosen um just out of passion
Yeah.
and something that I enjoy doing. But I mean, there's a wide range, like I said before, there's a wide range of areas in technology that aren't just software development, and
Yeah,
it's just exploring those different options.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's different like pathways now, isn't there? So, um, do you have any advice for anyone wanting to pursue a career in technology?
Um, well, there's a lot of advice out there,
Yeah.
just for people who ask the right questions. But for me, for my advice is just explore the options, different options out there, and just find in something that you enjoy doing in IT, whether that be in service desk, would be part of a customer service role, it would be digital design, it would be software development, it'd be testing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite broad, and
Yeah.
you'll know when you have a hands-on experience with um
Mm,
that.
yeah. Finally, what are your thoughts? What does Tokelau need with technology?
Well, there's a lot needed in nation building and uh capacity building in terms of workforce. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of skills and expertise needed for small island countries, especially like Tokelau, ni. Our people overseas ni, our a tātou tino lava i whaho ni, nā Tokelau lava i whaho. With
Mm,
the skills and expertise, we
yeah.
need Tokelauans who are skilled and experienced in the areas of technology, ni,
Yeah.
who can grasp new technologies and utilize them for the benefit of our people.
Mm,
Um, we need Tokelauans who are well informed of global changes and trends, to advise policy making and lawmaking, and what that means. What are the implications for small island countries like Tokelau? We need Tokelauans who are resilient, who are confident in their heritage and have
mm,
access to ancestral memory, ne? In
yeah.
a context.
Yeah.
So there's a wide range of things that Tokelau needs. And it's just not mentioned to the things that but yeah, there are a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky to have people like that's in the circle, in the industry, in the sector. We're very lucky, Mana. I see huge things, and good luck for your masters, finishing your masters, and whatever your software development pathway that you choose. I think you're going to be incredible. Um, and I'm so like the stuff that you've done, all the projects that you've done for Tokelau, it's been, we're very grateful to have someone like you, there in the motherland. Um, I'm gonna for the people that are interested to know more about Mana, I'm sure he doesn't mind. Feel free to contact him, for any advice that he may have, Mana, or any insights. Since especially, he's there, he's there in Atafu. It's quite interesting to connect and understand, his perspectives, but and his what he wants to pursue next. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your journey. How do you feel? How do you feel, Elon?
Thanks, thanks for taking the time and interviewing. Really appreciate, and I think it's really the work you're doing is really good. Because just last week I read an article that there was one of the Maori leaders from Ngāti Toa, is really encouraging a lot of the younger generation of Maori to get into technology,
Yeah.
especially the AI trend that's happening, that's in the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women. And that's something for Tokelauans, especially for Tokelauans and wider Pacific people, to explore,
Yeah.
and to you know be something to good
Look
to
at
look
your way.
for the benefit of our people, for the benefit of your family, of
Mm-hmm.
the nation building, for everyone who's concerned with technology.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
option. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We must advocate for that. I really believe in that. We need to keep up, and I won't hijack this because that's a probably a separate thing I could like post, but it's definitely AI important to keep up with. We do not want to be left behind. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you
Good.
so much for your time and sharing. I think you've inspired a lot of people, especially our people in Tokelau. So I'm really grateful, really proud,
Well,
and
Chase,
contribute to the
le
platform.
hoi mo hoi tala ini.
Yeah.
Rohe tai pau ngā luenga le le hoi mo tātou tangata ni. E hau
Oh,
mai koe te atua, e lei e lahi nā heo e toi hoi talai ma hoi loa ki tātou ni. Kai manuia lava te ahui ahui, te pō, raitai.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mana. Night. Bye.